I know that I met Jennifer Bellinger a few years back. She's the children's pastor at our church, The Grove. I've seen Cody Bellinger grow up. He is, in my opinion, sitting here in the middle of May, a very good candidate for Rookie of the Year in the National League. And Cole Bellinger the other night was on the mound when Hamilton won a state title in 6A. All that to say, there's got to be a mom that's handling all this, and that is Jen Bellinger. And she joins us. You're on a speakerphone in LA, I hear. You're driving around. Is that right?
Yeah, I just got in. I flew into Burbank, and I'm heading to pick up my son at the hotel.
So you go pick up Cody, and what does mom say to son who's having just a terrific start to a season? What do you say to him at this point, Jen? Do you get out of his way?
I always ask how he feels, like physically, emotionally. We know it can be exciting, but also a little bit draining. So I always ask how he's feeling.
Yeah. So if we're to back up on this, when he was at Hamilton, could you have scripted this run for him?
I wouldn't say scripted, no. I guess I would say, when your kid is a passion and they have certain work ethic that you kind of watch them go through motions to maybe develop into something that might be special. You hope that happens, but it doesn't always happen that way. So you kind of go in with eyes wide open. So I'd say with Cody, it doesn't surprise me knowing just how much passion he had to become a professional baseball player. And then I saw, again, his work ethic to get him there. The
start that he's had, though, are you surprised as the mom?
Yes. I mean, I'd have to admit to that part. I thought for sure he, at some point in his career, could develop into this great player that he has already become. So, yeah, I think it was a little bit surprising for all of us. I think he might even be surprising himself.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because I think the start of this was he's going to be up and then they're going to send him back to Oklahoma City, and I don't think there's any chance that's going to happen. I just don't see that happening for the rest of his career. We never know in baseball. I get that.
Exactly.
But this was supposed to be a 1 week or so cup of coffee, right?
Yes. I mean, he was up for an injury to Jock Peterson.
Right.
They obviously, have other outfielders they could have called on, but it gave them an opportunity to kind of give Cody an opportunity to get his feet wet, experience a little bit. He was up for the Freeway Series, so he had already had a little experience up here. So for him, I think it was just an opportunity, yeah. So then once everyone got healthy, he was supposed to go back to Oklahoma, and then maybe we'd see him later in the season.
What, in your opinion, has been the most daunting aspect of being a mother of a Major League Baseball player?
I think the challenge is trying to go back to your normal day of life and not be at every moment of your son's experience. I think that as a mom, that's probably the biggest challenge. That's why I kind of am trying to go back and forth as much as I can. I know eventually that novelty will wear off a little bit.
Sure.
I won't have to feel like I have to be there the whole time. And then I think on the other side of it, just being in an environment like Chandler, even though Phoenix is a big city, Chandler is a small town feel. It's a great community, and just all the support can also be just emotionally in a good way overwhelming. I mean, the community has been, and friends, and they've been very supportive.
The whole aspect of him being in Los Angeles, Jen, and I'm thinking in this day and age of social media and the opportunities to be in the LA lifestyle, nightlife, being pulled this way, pulled that way, social media, girls chasing him around as ball players. I mean, the whole aspect of it, this as being a baseball wife with your husband, Clay. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, obviously when Clay played, it was a whole different culture as far as media. I mean, we only had newspapers, and fans didn't have access to athletes the way they do today. And I think part of it is a false sense of access because they can follow along in their basic life and think that then they have a little bit more of a relationship with the players then. And I think that's for anyone that's in the limelight, not just for athletes. But I think that's been the challenge but I think also you got to remember the organization like the Dodgers, they've done a good job like through spring trainings and having, time to just remind the boys and as they become men that, you got to be careful. And I think it's been taught a little bit of the work ethic on that end of it to be careful about what they post, what they do, where they are. So I think as a mom, I trust that the Dodgers have done a good job in giving them worst case scenarios and kind of giving them training. And I think I hope also just my upbringing and my husband's upbringing, his knowledge of the game on and off the field and what he experienced without social media and all the challenges. Hopefully he's reminded of all that.
Have you monitored his Twitter, his Instagram, and all that stuff, and looked at some things?
No, I don't have access. I don't have access to his personal, back.
Yeah.
I don't have his passwords or anything like that. I mean, I can obviously go on social media and see what people have said or whatever. But it's the same thing when Clay played. You could. I mean, back then, AOL dial-up is what we had, so it was very limited.
Right.
To what people could say about us, but. He played in one of the toughest cities in the nation to play in, New York. And that media is a love or hate relationship with people. Randy Johnson experienced a different relationship there than my husband did. He had a wonderful relationship with the media. The media loved Clay. They loved that generation of Yankees. And we saw that the media could also make or break you. And they have a lot of power in that. And now social media has some power in that. So it's been interesting to kind of see that change and shifting in that. But again, the bottom line is this: if you just do your job, you do it well, you keep your focus, then they have nothing to talk about or write about other than how you're doing on the field.
Talking about Jen Bellinger, she is, of course, the mother of Cody Bellinger and Hamilton High School pitcher Cole Bellinger. A really good local story here. Before I let you go, the other night when Cole is on the mound and Hamilton is trying to win the state title, okay? So now you have that aspect going on at the exact same time. Are you like watching him pitch and then looking at your phone to see how how did you handle the other night? 2 games simultaneous.
Yeah. Well, at first, Cody was told ahead of time that he'd probably get a night off playing because he's been playing every day since he was called up. So he was told Monday would be his day off. Tuesday would be his day off. So I thought, that's great, perfect. I only can focus on one kid tonight. I don't have to worry about what Cody's doing in San Francisco. And so then I'm with actually our third base coach, Chris Woodward, for the Dodgers. His wife, they actually live in Chandler, and she's still there with kids in school. So she's at the game supporting. Her daughter actually goes to Hamilton High School.
Oh, wow.
And so she's there with the big crowd of fans and kids. So we're all there watching Twitter to see how the Dodgers as a team are doing. And we see that there's been a double switch, and Cody got subbed in. So, of course, I have the MLB app, and I opened that up to watch. But mostly my eyes were definitely on the field where my son was. I mean, that's the most important thing for Cole at this point. And I kind of glanced down to see what maybe Cody was doing. But my focus was really on Cole and the Huskies, and then bringing home another championship. It was the best feeling ever. They did an amazing job.
I was hoping you would say, well, there were 2 outs to win the title, and Cody was at the plate, and I wasn't really sure, Brad, which to do, look up or look. I was just hoping that would happen.
Yeah, you've got kids, Brad. You gotta share that affection and that joy,
right.
And make sure you balance that as well as you can.
What do you think the future is for Cole in baseball?
It's funny because people ask me that a lot, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, I think with Cody, we actually kind of had that same humble approach of you never know. I mean, like you said, the game, it's sometimes you don't understand what they're looking at, and you can develop between the age of 17 and where Cody's at 21 and improve so much.
Right.
So with Cole, where he is right now, I mean, he's improved even significantly on one aspect of the game with his pitching, and he hasn't really, I hate to say it, but he hasn't really tried. So, if he continues to develop under Andy Sienkiewicz and that coaching staff, I mean, I could see him developing into a pretty spectacular player once he starts getting a little bit stronger. If there's plans for a draft. I know that obviously draft is going to happen in June, whether or not he's part of that plan. We also didn't know that for Cody. We honestly went into that draft back in 2013 with him having an offer to go to Oregon, and we just watched. The first and second day go by knowing, okay, well, he's not a first or second rounder. We'll see what happens on the next day. And that next day, we obviously had some insight based on some communications we had through texting and phone calls that there were still teams interested in him. And that, we did still, but still you never know. I mean, there are a lot of people that heard that too and they didn't get drafted. So, we'll just have to play it by ear with Cole, and we have a certain idea of what it's going to take to buy him out of his opportunity in college, which he's got a great opportunity to go to Grand Canyon and develop into a pretty amazing baseball player, and maybe God knows the rest. So
Right.
just take it one step at a time.
Well, and I think for him being over there, Andy Stankiewicz is doing a terrific job. That program next year, when they're eligible to go in the postseason, they're going to go, and he's done a great job over there.
Yeah, no doubt. We obviously have watched him all season, and like I said, Andy's got he's got a pro league coaching staff, and we know that Cole's going to be developed and taken care of physically, emotionally, all those things that you hope for. And same with like Cody with the Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers have taken good care of him and have developed him into an amazing ball player and amazing kid too. So we can't lose either way.
Safe travels. I appreciate the time. Thanks.
You're welcome.
See you soon. There's Jen Bellinger, the mother of two that are getting it done. Dodger outfielder Cody and Hamilton High School 6A champion Cole. I like that.